So today we are starting purchasing. Okay. So Oracle purchasing model introduction. So we have completed inventory model. Okay. Fine. So let's discuss purchasing model. Purchasing. See. So when you see purchasing, it's in generally. So in purchasing means we buy something. We bought something for our home and all, right? So if you take just a home example, for your home, maybe weekly or 15 days once or even once in a month, you may plan for your groceries, right? You may plan for your groceries for monthly. Okay, once you get the salary or someday you specific day, you'll plan what all things we have to buy for our home. Okay, so when that need comes, so who will be informing? Obviously our mothers, wives, they will inform to buy this kind of items. Okay, and what we do, we will list out all the things. We will list out all the things, what all items required and how much quantities. Okay, if it is, if you are measuring it as quantity, then you are mentioning like quantities, or if you are measuring in liters, or if it is kgs you will mention, and you will list out all the entries, right? So once you prepare that list, and next we will buy, either you or either your father or anyone in the, your brother, anyone in the home, they'll go and they will buy the items. How they will buy? They'll go for a best shop. Correct. They'll choose the best shop and they'll buy the items, right? They'll buy the items. Correct. And they, once they buy, they are the persons who will carry the items and they bring it to home, and they will be utilizing it. So once all the items consumed, again they'll go for purchasing. So this is like home example. Just think about company example, and that too it is like manufacturing company. Okay. So manufacturing company. Something like we take an example of ABC laptop industries, right? So ABC company is just manufacturing a laptops, and to manufacture the laptops, they need components. Correct? They need components. So the components will be planned and they will list out, and the buyer will buy the items. Okay. And once like they prepare the list and everything, there will be a directors, purchasing directors, who will review and they will approve. Okay. They will approve the document. And once they approve, then you will be reaching out to your supplier, like sending your PO document to your supplier, and then your supplier will send the items to your organization. Okay. So this is how in organization. Okay. And again, in the purchasing side, there are different type of people. So if we take a home example itself, okay, home example, again the different type of people here in home also we have many members. So the requester, who requests the items, either your mother or wife will request these items is required. Just assume in this case, okay, and who prepare, we only list the items. We will write all the items in the paper, right? Preparer, requester, either your mother or wife or anyone who actually telling these items is required or not. Okay. Preparer, either you or someone who writing in the paper. Sometimes it can be your mother itself, wife itself, who write in the paper itself. Requester and preparer there itself. Okay. One person itself. Okay. And buyer. So buyer is something who go outside and they will choose best shop, best supplier, okay, and they will buy the item. So how they go? So who actually giving best quality, best price, okay, least price, and who actually giving discounts, and who actually giving offers. We go to that shop, right? Hmm? So the buyer role is to choose best supplier. here. Best supplier and procure the material. Best supplier, best quality, least price, all these conditions. Okay. And approver here something. You just think about in home example, maybe your father. Okay, your father is giving, yes, like your mother will tell all this, okay, this items is required, and you will prepare, and you will just assuming like it's become a 50 list, 50 list, and you will inform to your father saying that 50 list, and your father say, okay, it's fine, we can go ahead and buy. It's like he's like approver. Okay, he's like approver. He's given approval and given the money, like approver. Just think about a home example. Okay, and you'll go once it is approved, then you'll go and buy the items. And then receiver means, after you buy the items, who actually after you buy the items, okay, and maybe you inform to that shop owner to deliver that items. Maybe you cannot carry it, maybe like 50 kgs. Okay, the entire groceries comes like 50 or 50, 60 or 70 kgs, so you cannot, it's difficult for you to carry out. Then you'll request our shop owner to deliver to so and so place. Once the item is delivered, who actually receiving in the home, who actually receiving, who actually doing quality, like counting. For example, we ordered around like 50 items. Okay, 50 items we ordered. When we receive the items, we need to make sure whether 50 items are there or not, right? So that kind of activity will be done by receiver. Okay, receiver. And quality checking also. Okay, you ordered something. Just an example, you buy the some cooking oil. Okay, whether while you receiving it, whether it is perfect, whether the same one, whether it is damaged, you have to check, right? If it is damaged, then you won't be accepting it, you will be returning it. So that kind of activity will be done by receiver. So this is our home example for all these persons. Let's go and discuss company's example. Okay, a manufacturing company example. The requester. Okay, so in the organization, the requesters, the planning people will be there. So the planning people. So the planning people is like they will plan the components, but they'll plan the components to procure based on history transactions. Okay. For example, last year, so and so month, the sales were huge. Okay. The sales has happened huge. So they'll take that kind of forecasting. Okay, and they will inform to they'll prepare some kind of list. Okay, some kind of list. So these items we require this much of quantity and all, they'll plan it. Okay, the requester, the planners and requester can be same in sometimes. Okay, the requester will inform to the preparer to prepare the document. So when requester informing the preparer to prepare the document, the preparer will go and prepare a document called like purchase requisition. In Oracle technical word, purchase requisition. If you take a home example, it is just on paper, just on a paper. Okay. So here again, the preparer can choose, okay, purchase requisition or internal requisition. So purchase requisition is something like buying the items from the outside supplier. The supplier is external. Okay, external supplier. So Oracle technical language word, external supplier. So we will be also having internal supplier. So when we say internal supplier, can anyone guess what is internal supplier? We have discussed in inventory transaction, one of the transaction. What is that? Internal supplier.
Move order we have seen.
Mhm. More order. Okay, when you take more order, it's like one sub inventory to other sub inventory. In that case, that source sub inventory is your supplier. That is okay. But
Yeah.
best example is there. What is that?
There are any consumables.
No.
We have to issue from inventory
No,
arc,
no.
sub-inventory arc.
No. That is not. Subinventory move orders, you tell that, okay. I'm talking about internal supplier. When you require the items, what do? You request your Hyderabad organization to bring the item, right? So here your Hyderabad organization, what is? It is your internal supplier. Okay.
Hello.
Internal
Sub-inventory
supplier.
transfer.
Yeah, if you take sub-inventory transfer, it's within the organization. That is okay. Okay. But if you go with interorg, got it? Interorg transaction. I was keep on telling you we will create IRISO. Okay. Instead of interorg transfer, we will be having IRISO. So IR in the sense internal requisition. Okay. Internal requisition, and ISO in the sense internal sales order. Okay, fine. So the buyer can choose if he like the items are like we don't manufacture the items and we don't have the stock even in other organizations, then he go and create purchase requisition. So purchase requisition is going to create with external supplier. Okay, external supplier. When I say external supplier, outside who actually manufacturing the components. Okay, fine. Then buyer. So this preparer will prepare the document purchase requisition. Okay, and this purchase requisition will be converted into PO. So that activity will be done by buyer. So here it will just he will prepare what items I need. That's it. What items I need, he will prepare that. But will choose the the buyer will choose the best supplier in the market. So choosing after this process, we will be having RFQ, request for quotation. Okay, RFQ, quotation analysis and all will be there. So what we do once we prepare the purchase requisition, right? So that requisition we will be sending it to different suppliers in the market. So how we will be sending in our website, in each and every company website, right? They will announce their uh, RFQ. So request for quotation they will announce, and they will also give submission dates and everything. So on so date you have to submit your quotation and all, and who actually interested the suppliers, right? They'll fill the details and everything. They'll give their quotation. So once the different suppliers are sent their quotation, and quote analysis will be happened in Oracle. Okay, in our at least we have that process actually. Okay, and the quote analysis how it is happen in companies, right? They will have all the quotations they will take, different suppliers quotations will take, and all the procurement will sit in some meeting room, and they will validate who actually best supplier. They will have some checklist who actually giving a list price, who actually giving best quality, who actually giving warranty services, who actually giving some kind of service if something is gone free of service. Okay, and who actually agreed to payment terms. For example, if you think companies, right, it's not like once we buy the item immediately we have to pay. It's like N30 will be there. Net 30 days means after we buy the items, after 30 days we will pay the amount. Like that kind of payment terms who actually agreed. Okay. So all these conditions they will check and they will choose the best supplier. So that activity will be performed okay, in quote analysis. So again, if there are two suppliers are equally two supplier, for example 10 suppliers are selected, 10 select after validating, two suppliers are coming in the same range, and again it is buyer responsibility to choose who is the best supplier. So he will choose, buyer will choose, and he will create a purchase order. So here they'll prepare just a purchase requisition. So requisition is something like just one paper where you are listing your required items and required quantity. and when it is required. Okay, and when it is required. So the buyer will choose that all the items whatever listed in purchase requisition, and he will assign the supplier. So and so supplier is best supplier, so we have to go and buy. Okay, the buyer responsibility, and he will prepare the document. It's fine. Okay, and sometimes the purchasing documents it can be crores. Okay, it can be 5 crores, 10 crores, or 50 crores, the document value itself. So it needs directors, CEOs approval before going to purchase the items, right, from that supplier. They need approvers. So we can set up the approvers. Again, we have two types of approval hierarchies in Oracle purchasing. Okay, employee based approval hierarchy and position based approval hierarchy. Employee supervisor hierarchy and position based approval hierarchy. So once the buyer is created the document, that is like incomplete document. It's not approved one. Okay. The incomplete document you cannot send it to your supplier and you cannot even communicate with your supplier because it is incomplete. You just choose a supplier, but it is just incomplete document. So the buyer has to submit the document for approval, and once the approval is reviewed and they approved, then it is a valid document. But okay, to discuss with our supplier and like even to send the PO PDF. We have the PO document. Once we approve the document, right, the PO PDF will be generated and it will send to the supplier email addresses. Even you can communicate some communication channels, okay, through email, phone, whatever it is. Okay, and once the supplier is reviewed the document and they will provide the items. So once items are sent from supplier place, and once it is reached to our organization, then receivers will receive the items. The receiver will receive the items. While he receiving the items, he has to check whether the items, whatever the PO, right? What are the against the PO? For example, in PO we have 50 items listed, whether 50 items are received or not, whether any items is having any damages, any any quality inspection has to be performed for that item. They will perform and they will deliver it to storage or any raw material sub inventory. Okay, so these are the persons will be involved. So hope it is clear, right? Can we move if everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. And when you are practicing, right, you just assume something company in your mind. Okay, or if you are you can even take your own example. For example, you only have one shop in your hometown and you have to buy all the materials, right? You have to buy all the materials once in a week. Okay, you'll go and choose best shop. Where is the best shop? So here when you're taking an example of shop, you are the person all of this. Okay, but think about in company perspective, there are different people, different teams. Okay, all this done by procurement teams. Okay, procurement teams. There are again procurement requester team, procurement buyers team, procurement coordinators. Okay, procurement head, procurement director. All these people will be there. Okay, in purchasing side, planning team. Okay, fine. Okay, this is just a note. Okay, it's like in Oracle technical word. Okay, so these are all same only. If you talk about purchase, procurement, buying, same only. Okay, same only. It is same. Nothing change. Okay, and this is a cycle, P2P cycle. Okay, entire P2P cycle. So in Oracle SCM, we will be having two cycles, okay? In purchasing side P2P and in order management side O2C cycle. So this is generic cycle. Even if you take any kind of application, you will be having a P2P cycle, okay? So P2P, procure to pay. How you go on procure the material, okay? So application to application, some wording pronunciation will be changed, but the functionality is same only. Functionality is same only. So I was telling, right, we will be having requisitions. So we will be having two types of requisitions: purchase requisition, internal requisition, okay, and RFQ, request for quotation. So here also we will be having three types of RFQs. Three types: standard RFQ, catalog RFQ, bid RFQ. So in the bid RFQ, it's like bidding will be happening, some kind of bidding activity, bargaining activity with the supplier. So those things, okay. And quotation. So once we submit the our RFQ, either in our portal, either in newspapers, if you notice, some companies will even release their RFQ in the newspapers. Okay, newspapers they will release, or they even advertise. They will even give advertisements. Okay, and they even give, most probably they'll give on their own website. Okay, they'll give their own website, and they will be having a list of suppliers, right, who actually supplying, and they even communicate with their suppliers, saying that they'll keep all the suppliers email IDs in BC. Okay, and they will send their RFQ, and they'll give the link also to fill their details and everything. Okay, fine. uh, for these two, right, RFQ, quotation and quote analysis, if you want to have discussion more and all, right, we have again I source models. Okay, I models we have. Okay, I sourcing. Okay, I models we have. I supplier, I sourcing, we have models we have. Okay, fine. And quotation, the supplier will submit the quotation, and that quotation we will be doing quote analysis. Here it is like chosen who is the best supplier. Okay, so once it is chosen, then we will convert the document as like purchase order. Okay, so this is the final purchase order document, final document. Okay, so this will be prepared by buyer. So once the buyer is prepared, and he will send the document for approval. So once it is approved, and once it is approved, then the document can be sent to supplier, and supplier can send the items to your organization. Okay, so here releases will be there. So we have blanket purchase agreement, and so here, right, in purchasing, in purchase order, here we discuss two types of purchase requisition and internal requisition. And the same way, here in purchase orders, we have four types of purchase orders. Okay, standard purchase order, planned purchase order, blanket purchase agreement, and contract purchase agreement. Okay, so against the blanket purchase agreement and planned purchase order, we will be having a releases. Okay, releases. So we'll discuss each and every document type in clear, in detail. Okay, so just want to cover up this P2P cycle in high level. Okay, fine. Just a second. Yeah. Okay, so after you receive the items, then we have to pay the amount to a supplier, right? To do that activity, we'll go and create, means our finance team. From here up to receiving, it is our SCM functional responsibility to make sure everything is going good. And again, this activity we will not do. We will not create requisitions and all. We will not even create purchase orders. We will not do anything. It is our uh, purchasing team, business team will be doing this all this activity. If they get any issues on this activity, so we are as a software engineer or as a functional consultant, you are the responsibility to help them, support them. Okay, up to receiving. So from invoice to close, so this area will be taken care by finance functional consultant. Okay, Oracle finance functional consultant. The above one, Oracle SCM functional consultant. So we are the responsible. Okay, fine. So the finance team will create a invoice. Finance team will create a invoice. So once invoice is everything validated, they will be having validate invoice, matching invoice. When they matching invoice, they will be having again uh okay two-way, three-way, and four-way. The matching options will be there. It's like two-way in the sense the invoice, whatever the invoice they're creating, that has to match to PO quantity. Three-way, the invoice quantity has to match with PO quantity and receiving quantity. And the four-way, the invoice quantity has to match with the PO quantity, receiving quantity, and we also do inspection, quality checking. So these quantities it has to match, then only it will be validated, and further they will do payment to the supplier. Once they do payment to the supplier, and they have to consolidate. Okay, they have to do reconciliation, everything if anything is missing, and they have to post the transactions to GL. Okay, some activity will be there in finance side, and okay, and then finally the entire cycle will be closed for that specific purchase order. Okay, so once payment is done, everything is done, then it will be closed. Okay, so this is P2P cycle. Anyone have any questions? Yeah, okay. So next is, as I told, right, we have two types of approval hierarchies: employee supervisor hierarchy and position hierarchy in purchasing side. Okay, in purchasing side, employee supervisor hierarchy and position based hierarchy. So employee supervisor hierarchy is like simple. It is very simple. Okay. For example, myself. So I am the buyer. So when I create the document, when I approve the purchase order, like when I send it for approval, it will go for my manager. Okay. So once my manager is reviewed and is approved, if he have approval limits, then document will be approved. If he don't have approval limits, then again it will go for his manager. So it's like manager to manager up to top level, even it is up to CEO. Okay, up to CEO, the document will flow for approval. It's depend on how much the document amount is. If it is in crores, it may go for CEOs. If it is in lakhs, it will go for directors. Okay, if it is in within lakh or something, right? Within 5 lakh or within like for example 80,000 or 90,000, like that amount, then it will go for procurement manager. Okay, like that. Okay, fine. It is employee to employee, like supervisor to supervisor, it will go. So my manager, it will receive when I submit, it will go for my manager. Once my manager is approved, it will go for his manager, and that manager to that manager, manager to manager, it will go for approval. Here, there is much setups is not required here. Only employee level, you need to give supervisor. Who is your supervisor? Okay, fine. And this position based approval hierarchy, in the position based approval hierarchy, if you see in the company, in the company with the same position, there are multiple people will be available. Okay. For example, if you just take procurement manager, it's not like one manager, right? It's not like one manager in a single branch. For example, in a Bangalore branch itself, they may, if it is a huge business, okay, huge company, at least 10 procurement managers will be there. Okay, 10 procurement managers. So for all of them, only single position, that is manager, PO manager or procurement manager, like that. Okay, and all these 10 peoples are eligible to approve the document. So it is like, again, it won't even choose who is your supervisor and all. It will only check the position. First is buyer position, a procurement coordinator or something. Okay. Next is procurement manager. Next is procurement director. Okay. Director and procurement senior director and procurement VP, vice president, like that. Okay. And finally CEO, like that. It will go for position, position to position. Okay. Position to position. So everyone clear? Okay.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So in this P2P cycle, we will be having a 14 document types. Okay. 14 documents per type we will be having. So here you will be having two, purchase requisition and internal requisition. And here three documents you will have. Okay. Standard RFQ, catalog RFQ, bid RFQ. So it become five, and quotation. So we will be having again quotation three types: standard quotation, catalog quotation, bid quotation. So it become eight documents, right? And the quote analysis, just some quote analysis activity. Okay. Up to here, eight documents. Okay. And here we will be having four documents. Okay. Four documents. So standard purchase order, plan purchase order, contract purchase agreement, blanket purchase agreement. Four documents. So 8 and 4, how it is? 12. 12 documents up to here. And we will be having two releases, blanket releases and scheduled releases. So 12 and 2 become 14. 14 documents we will be having in purchasing model. In this purchasing model, along on these 14 documents, if you should only concentrate, you should only concentrate 8 documents. Okay, 8 documents you have to concentrate. Two purchase requisitions and four purchase orders. Okay, it's like 6 and two releases. Okay, two releases. 8 documents you have to concentrate. If you are unable to concentrate on 8 documents, at least you have to concentrate 4 documents. Okay, purchase orders and internal requisitions also. Okay, fine. Yeah, that the next topic is that only. We have 14 document types in purchasing model. See all of this, all of this. And here I have highlighted which is important. Okay, so this two is important and this also is important. Okay, so if you know about this, automatically you will get to know this two also, what it is too. Okay, so these are all not that much important, and very rare companies will use these flows, entire flow. Some companies how it is, right, in a P2P cycle. See, when you go for this full cycle, when you just started a business or when you just going for new supplier, if supplier is existing supplier, you've been purchasing the item from for so long, you have an agreement with the supplier for 5 years or 3 years, then you don't need to perform all this activity, RFQ, quotation, code analysis, because you know already your supplier is the best supplier and you have an agreement for 5 years or 3 years. So what you do directly from requisition to purchase order, you will convert. You will skip this task, 3 tasks you will skip. Okay, fine. I think we have only 1 minute. So I think that's it for today. We'll connect tomorrow. So anyone have any questions? I have uploaded this document in the drive. So I request everyone to please go through that. Okay. So here it is. Here it is. Please go through this document. Okay. Fine. So if you don't have any questions, then we can wind up the session for today and we'll connect tomorrow. Okay. Bye everyone.
Thank you, Shiv. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.